What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, very excited to bring you this PvP video for One Piece Treasure Cruise on the JP server of the game. We are currently sitting at a 99 win streak, and hopefully with this win we are going to go up to 100 wins in a row with my tank killer team, which has not failed me a single time yet with this strategy of climbing through the PvP ranks. We're almost in the top 3k. It is a very sweaty fest right now when it comes to this Pirate Festival. It's actually called Pirate Festival, not PvP. That's the formal name, but for the sake of ease and understanding, we're just going to call it PvP. And if you have any questions regarding PvP, guys, please do leave them in the comment section down below, because I want to make a comprehensive video in the future covering all aspects of PvP and the most frequently asked questions. So, where do we begin? Let's begin with what we're looking for. The enemies that we're looking for with this team are basically full-on defensive teams, full-on tanks which lack a lot of damage. In this case, the enemy does have a tiny bit of damage in Doflamingo and also Barto and Cavendish here. We're looking at the team at the very bottom because that gives you the most points most of the time. And then they have Douglas Bullet, who I normally recommend staying away from. However, with this team, the only units you really want to stay away from are Carrot, Cracker, Snake Man, Kaido, Legend Kaido that is, and that's Legend Snake Man V1, not V2, and also on top of that, Legend Big Mom V1 as well, 6+ Big Mom. However, this team at the very bottom has none of those units. It has a healer, and it has 4 tanks. The shield icon that you can see on this Dofi, for example, at the very top right corner, is a shield. Same with Douglas Bullet, top right corner, just above where it says level 99, it's a shield. And if the enemy has 4 shield units in their main team, as their main units, so not on the subs bench, on their main team, their main units, and a healer, this is a pretty good sign that you're going to be able to destroy them. However, do pay attention to their bench and make sure they do not have any massive DPS units, and DPS is signaled by the attack or the sword icon just above the level 99, as you can see here. My full team has only 1 tank and 4 DPS units. However, all of my DPS units here have very large amounts of HP. As you can see here, Big Mom has 8,000 HP, Whitebeard has 7,500, Fujitora has 7,600, Akainu has 7,400, and now is the defensive unit on this team. He has a lot of defense, 229, but only 6,000 HP. However, this is the strategy. Now, with my team, doesn't matter if the enemy has healers, doesn't matter if they have any tanks, as long as they don't have any huge amounts of damage, all of my units synergize so that they have massive amounts of HP, meaning the enemy can only chip away at my HP with HP cuts. And also, if they have a bit of damage, that doesn't matter too much, because normally I'll just be able to tank it because my HP pool is so big. Fujitora gives a HP buff, Big Mom gives a HP buff, Enel gives a HP buff, and then I get attack from Akainu and also Whitebeard, as long as Whitebeard drops under 30% HP. But Whitebeard's captain ability, or captain passive rather, is not that important. When I say captain ability or captain passive, it's an ability from PvP which grants you passive abilities throughout the game in PvP. And that could be attack boost, speed boost, HP boost, cooldown reduction, etc, etc. And Whitebeard's one in this instance is when he's under 30% HP, he'll give himself defense up and the whole crew attack up as well. But let's get into this battle. This is going to be for win number 100. Hopefully we don't bottle it here, because this team is a little bit different from what I normally fight. This 6+ Dofi is actually quite dangerous. He does a lot of damage, but you can see here, we're going to put this on slow mode so that you guys can see everything here. The enemy has a level 3 HP up, and he has level 6 attack up for driven units. So that's absolutely a-okay. We have the normal attacks coming through right now, which is absolutely a-okay as well. What we want to see is Whitebeard charging up and doing a big HP cut on everyone else. On the enemy team, Shirahoshi is like the premium healer in this game right now. When she falls under a certain amount of HP, she will increase her healing by a huge amount, and she will heal up to over 5,000 HP, which is pretty absurd. However, the counter to this is just having a really big HP cutter. As you guys can see, Whitebeard is taking a lot of damage, but that's absolutely a-okay as well, because we want him to be under 30% HP. He'll give our units all an attack boost as well. The Douglas Bullet is pretty buffed up, and he's going to do a 15% damage cut on our units as well, which is a little bit scary. The Shirahoshi on their team is quite low on HP. If we can eliminate her, that would be great, but she does heal everyone up for 2,000 HP. We have a 40% damage cut coming through from Whitebeard on absolutely everyone. Whitebeard will never miss, and he will hit everyone on the enemy team. As you guys can see that Dofi did a lot of damage to Whitebeard. Whitebeard is now under 30% HP, and he just gave, as you saw with the glowing lights at the bottom there, everyone a buff. A 925 fixed damage cut coming through onto the Whitebeard and a few other units. It's a little bit scary, not gonna lie, but we have the 50% HP cut coming through from Fujitora. Unfortunately, he went before Shirahoshi, and Shirahoshi is now going to heal everyone up for 3,900 HP. So this is actually looking like quite the scary showdown here, because a lot of my units will not have the damage unless Whitebeard is able to do the 40% HP cut. Now, Akainu does fixed damage to everyone depending on how much time is remaining in the game. The time is at the very top of the screen. If it's under 50 seconds, he'll do 2 layers of special attacks. If it's under 30, he'll do 3. And if it's above that, he'll only do 1. However, with this team, it's all about surviving. Akainu has a lot of HP. Anel has a lot of HP. And all of the enemies have very, very low amounts of HP now, as you guys can see here. Whitebeard might die. Whitebeard is still surviving with just a little whisker right now. He's surviving. And he is the survivor here, and this is going to be absolutely huge. Enel is going to come through with a lot of fixed damage. He does not miss. He hits absolutely everyone on the enemy field. Same with Whitebeard, same with Fujitora. They will basically hit everyone every single time. Whitebeard does come through on the enemy Douglas bullet. However, the enemy only has trash units now, so it is kind of a GG considering most of my units still have around half HP or higher. Now, under 30 seconds, everyone's attack stat gets increased, everyone's defense stat gets decreased, the cooldown abilities do charge up faster, which is very nice, and you will see Akainu on his second attack, or on his second special here, if the enemy is able to survive, is going to absolutely wash everyone on the enemy team, because he will have 3 layers of large AoE fixed damage, totaling up to over 5,000 HP damage, as long as he survives here. And this is now game over, because he's going to do 1, 2, and then there's no need for 3 because the enemy doesn't have the HP. That is 100 wins, ladies and gentlemen. 100 wins in a row against tanks. Now, again, this team will only work against enemies that do not have any DPS on their team. That is 100 wins in a row, taking me just into the top 3,000 at rank 2,998 for 23 points. I love to see it. We will showcase another showdown with this team. Hopefully we can find enemy tanks, and this is the strategy in PvP. You gotta cherry pick, guys. You gotta nitpick who you're fighting. Make sure you have the best matchups on your team that you can find. For example, this enemy team has a lot of tanks, but they have a cheeky Big Mum in the corner there, in between Douglas Bullet and in between Barto and Cavendish. As I said, guys, Big Mum has a lot of AoE damage. If she takes out any of my units, it's kind of a game over, because you need all of your units, especially Enel and Akainu, to survive till the very end, under 30 seconds, because that is when Akainu truly shines, when you're under 30 seconds. Let's go in and look for some more enemies. Hopefully we can find a tank team, and we find one immediately. A lot of people within the top 10,000 run full-on defensive teams. This guy is thinking he's clever using baits as a pigs, using pigs as a bait, but he has Whitebeard and Marco, which is a HP cutter, basically no damage. You have Frankie there, also a HP cutter, not really got any damage. Capone is a self-healing tank, so no damage there from his special. You got Shirahoshi, who's an AoE heal, no damage from her special. And then you have Tezoro, who has a tiny bit of fixed damage. You can actually see what level the enemies are here. You got max passive on here, which is actually not very smart to put on the bench, because any units on the bench don't actually contribute to your main team. Their passives don't do anything, their specials don't do anything if they're on the bench, so do keep that in mind. And the special here is only 900 damage, fixed damage cut. And then you have the Nekomamushi as well, which is just sitting at level 1. So this is going to be a very free win for win number 101. Once again, you can take a look at the enemy levels here. The enemy here has a level 7 special Whitebeard and Marco, level 3 passive, level 3 special on the Frankie, and then level 1s on the Capone. So it's a very under-level Capone. It's a level 8 healing on Shirahoshi, which is pretty huge, but that's not a big deal because, as I mentioned, guys, I have HP cuts. I only have a level 4 special on Fujitora, but I do have level 4 HP up for his passive. So level 4 there. That's not necessary though. Whitebeard is at level 2, and then his special is at level 3. The bare minimum, guys, for all of the units on this team, you want to have at least level 2 on their passive. Every single one of them you want to have at least level 2. Ideally level 3 or level 4 is better. And then the specials, not really that leveled up other than Akainu, who is at level 8. But Akainu's special you don't really need to have at level 8. Level 4 is great as well. But as long as you have Big Mum, Fujitora, and Enel's passives at level 3, that will guarantee you a lot of HP, because those 3 will boost HP, everyone else boosts attack, but the attack stat doesn't matter too much except for Big Mom, because Big Mom is the only unit who has a special that scales off attack in my team. The rest of them are HP cuts, and the rest of them are fixed damage dealers as well. So let's get into this. The enemy is very, very, very tanky, and the strategy for the enemy is basically, if you go from 100 cooldown at the very top all the way down to 0, you lose. Even if they have one enemy left and you have all 8 of yours alive, if you aren't able to defeat them within 100 seconds, you lose. So the enemy team is a tank stalling team, and what they want to do is make sure that you don't hit that, you hit that 0 mark essentially. They want you to run out of time and have a game over. But that's absolutely a-okay with me, because that's the strategy I want. I want it to go and run down the clock below 30 seconds, because below 30 seconds, every unit gets debuffed on their defense, they become squishier, every unit has their attack increase, meaning there's going to be more damage, and every unit's special charge time is increased as well, which means, well, Shirahoshi is dead, guys. Shirahoshi just died there, so they have no healing whatsoever except for the self-healers of Whitebeard and Marco and Capone. So this is essentially a game over already. They cannot sustain any of the damage that I'm about to deal to them here. 40% HP cut coming through from Whitebeard, which is absolutely massive. And then we have a 50% HP cut coming through from Fujitora later on, as the Whitebeard and Marco from the enemy team do 29% damage cut. But once again, guys, this Akainu, he will deal a small amount of fixed damage if you are above 50 seconds. If you fall under 50 seconds, he will do 2 layers of fixed damage. And if you're under 30 seconds, which is the panic time, but that's a good time for Akainu, he will do 3 layers of fixed damage, which accumulates to a massive, massive, massive amount, as Fujitora comes through here with the 52% HP cut. And as you guys can see, the enemy are all very, very, very low on HP now. Akainu just doing 1 wave of fixed damage. He actually kills someone, which is a very, very big bonus here, but not essential at all, because the enemy team has no damage whatsoever. There's no way they're going to kill any of my units, because what happens is, when you have a lot of slow units going through together, essentially it's just an endless cycle of HP cuts. And when you're in an endless cycle of HP cuts, if you're cutting someone again with like 100 HP and you do like a 50% HP cut, they now have 50 HP out of 100. So it's, what's the word? Diminishing returns. The more HP cuts there are, the worse for your enemy team, because if the enemy team only has HP cuts, it's just diminishing returns. They just keep cutting your HP, cutting it. You need to do 10 HP cuts to kill someone with 10% or with 10 HP. Like a 10% HP cut on someone with 10 HP, you need to have that 10 times in a row to finally kill them. So it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it at all. As you guys can see here, it's pretty much a game over. It's 8 versus 2. There's nothing they can do. Enel comes through with the fixed damage, and if Enel doesn't kill anybody, guys, it's okay. Still dealt the 2,125 fixed damage, but on top of that, Enel drastically reduces enemies' defense level as well, meaning he shreds tanks' defense, making it a lot easier for everybody else with their normal attacks to do a lot of damage on the enemy team. And that is 101 wins in a row, ladies and gentlemen. This is the tank killing team. This is the premium team for killing tanks. Again, all you want to do, guys, is constantly filter through your enemies until you find a full team of tanks, or full team of tanks and healers, or full team of tanks, healers, and buffers. As long as they don't have a DPS unit, a strong DPS unit like Snake Man V1, Big Mom, Legend Kaido, as long as they don't have those kind of units, Carrot, Luffy, Law, etc., this is going to be a free win. Someone like Lucy 6+, Sabo, Koala, they are like buffer units. They don't really do that much damage, so those are okay as well. Luffy Zoro doesn't really do too much damage either, but as long as they only have one of those kind of DPSs, like this very, very low tier damage DPSs, mixed with a bunch of tanks or healers, or a full team of tanks and healers, this team will not fail you. It is 100% fail safe. As you guys saw there, 2 really, really high ranked teams above me, giving me 23 and 22 points respectively. Didn't break a sweat at all. Didn't break a sweat at all. That's 100 wins in a row, 101 wins in a row rather, and it seems like the maximum win ratio that I can have is actually 99-0. As you guys can see there, the win streak will not go above 99 on there, but visually it will still count your win streak, and we're actually on 101 wins. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. I will elaborate more on PvP, but please do leave me your questions in the comment section down below so I can make a video answering all of those questions. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, and bye-bye.